Hello, my name's Michelle, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to configure GP Connect to share your appointments and your patient records within your EMIS clinical system. It's important to note before we start that you have the option to share as many or as few appointments as you want to, and you have the flexibility to change that number at any point. First, you need to enable the functionality. Now, at the end of April 2020, EMIS centrally enabled the GP Connect functionality for all GP practices in England in line with the COPI notice and the COVID-19 response. If you do want to check this configuration, you can do so as described on screen from the organisation configuration and then GP Connect configuration options. If you are applying any changes, you will need to click OK and restart EMIS on the screen that you can see. So to be able to configure our appointments, we first need to add a new organisation group. So from the EMIS ball, select Organisation Configuration, select the organisation groups from the navigation pane towards the bottom of the screen on the left-hand side. Click Add on the ribbon and you will then be presented with the Add Organisation Group screen. In here, you'll need to add an organisation group name, which needs to be unique within the EMIS system. We're recommending that you go with your GP practice ODS code _COVID-19 to ensure that unique name is created. Click on the magnifying glass, type your own GP practice ODS code in and press search and double click on your own practice to add it to the organisation group. You'll then need to repeat this step to add all other organisations to the same group. The first one on screen is displayed as RYE-A3, and that's the ODS code for the COVID Clinical Assessment Service. Depending on how you're intending to configure your prioritisation list, you may have one organisation group for yourselves and the CCAS and a separate one for yourselves and all 111 providers, or you may have everybody in the same list. So if you want to add all of the NHS 111 providers and the CCAS to the same list, the details of all of their ODS codes and names within the EMIS system can be found on the GP Connect website. And you would simply repeat the magnifying glass step until all NHS 111 providers had been added to the same list. This will ensure that all the appointments within your prioritisation list can be shared with both CCAS and NHS 111. Once you've added everybody, you will see this screen with the organisation group name, a description if you've added one, and then a list of organisations which you've included within that group. Once you're happy that it's complete, click on OK, and then we need to move on to creating a new session. So from the appointment book on the ribbon, click Create Session. First of all, give your session a session holder. This can be a dummy clinician, and you can configure your clinicians within EMIS Web to hold a session where they're not in possession of a smart card, and you do that through the job role section, which is the second option down on the left hand side of the staff details pane. Once you've added a session holder, you'll then need to give your session a name. The type is timed appointments, the start date with a from and to time, and then a slot duration. Remembering that these are spaces on a prioritisation list rather than slot types where patients will be expecting to attend an appointment, so your slot duration may be longer or shorter than your usual appointment times. Change your session category to default non-list bookable, and make sure that your all GP Connect bookable slots is set. So you can see two screens. One of them is for the 9.5 version of EMIS Web and one is 9.6. So either set all GP Connect bookable slots or change the option for all slots GP Connect bookable to yes. And then once you've done that, click on Apply Filter. Then you'll get your filter dialog. Change the filter type to organisation group. Find the organisation group which you've just set up. Click on the number of slots which you wish to allocate to that group, and then change the kind to reserve, which will mean that only people within that organisation group can see that these appointments exist and therefore book into them. And click on OK once you're happy. On the left-hand side, the session preview will show the globe icon. The globe icon is confirmation that you have made those slots GP Connect bookable. So that's your safety check. One red herring that we have found is that if you go into the slot type details and change them to remotely bookable, you will get a red arrow instead of the globe. This is an unnecessary step but won't affect the bookings. So if you tick both GP Connect bookable and remotely bookable in your slots, then they'll still be able to be visible via GP Connect, but the globe icon will change to a red arrow. You don't need to be concerned if that happens. And then just the final thing to check is in your slot type details. So select the entire session, right click and go to slot type details. Just make sure that your status type is telephone for all of those appointment slots. And the telephone slot is just a backup in case the patient is ever given a timed slot. They won't present in practice, they will expect a telephone call. But the prioritisation list, as you'll already know, is being treated as that, a list, and the patients will not be given a timed appointment by NHS 111 or the CCAS.